breaking it down in layman's terms. Today, I want to talk about reputation marketing, getting those new customers, those new clients online and converting them to new accounts through, well, reviews and a whole lot more. We've got a digital marketing specialist, a true sales leader, a consultant. Today, I've got Bill Courtright here. Bill, welcome in layman's terms.
Doug, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to not only this half hour, but all the impressions I can make, the impact we can drive towards your audience. It's going to be a blast.
Well, making an impact, Bill, you've definitely got an extensive career in sales marketing. And what you're doing as a managing director over at Reputation Sensei, powered by Digital Media Nation, you're doing a lot of great work. Can you give us like a quick high-level overview of your agency work, what you're doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for asking. So I'm a career marketer, 25 years, building small businesses. Actually come from a small business family. My family's been in the restaurant business since the 50s. So I saw firsthand what it was like to grow, an independently owned business and actually what can happen when larger, deep pocketed, better resourced companies can come into a neighborhood and drive some of those mom and pops out. So I made it my mission, in my 20s, that I was going to be a marketer specifically designed to support and grow small businesses, those mom and pop family owned businesses that were generational and where I grew up on the south side of Chicago. And I realized that marketing, specifically digital marketing, was a way that I could impact all those businesses, keep them relevant, keep them top of mind, and give those bigger chains, something they just don't have, which is that relatability, that story, that heart. And that's what I wanted to do. And the reason we chose Reputation as a foundation, supported by Digital Media Nation. And just to clear things up, Digital Media Nation is the parent company. It's the company. It's the full service digital marketing agency that Chris and I own. Chris Snellgrove, my business partner, who you'll likely meet in future episodes. But Chris started Reputation Sensei by Digital Media Nation, and I came on board shortly after. And Reputation Sensei is a product that Digital Media Nation supports. And without getting too into it, Doug, we live in an environment where people don't always get to your website. They're on their phone, they're searching for something near me or an industry in an area like chiropractor Roswell or Thai food near me, and they're not getting to a website unless they see on that Google business profile page some timely, relevant, recent reviews, a real strong 4.5 or better score, a lot of comments and engagement. And it's only then will someone move forward and look at a website or possibly visit a location or reach out by phone. So we focused on that, knowing that the world was changing, and when everyone else was selling websites and paid advertising campaigns, we were taking a step back, and we thought, what's more important than that is actually a lot more affordable, and it's actually free in a lot of cases. So that's where Reputation Sensei came. It came from the environment that we live in, and that is nobody's doing business with anybody that the world says isn't doing a good job, and that's where we focus for our clients.
Well, thanks for clarifying that. And now from the Reputation Sensei perspective, the agency look at. We've talked a little bit about reputation. We keep throwing that word around. We're going to really get into the other R word, which is reviews. Mm-hmm. But your agency is a full service online marketing agency. You're doing lead nurturing, SEO, pay per click, helping out with websites, and then the reputation side, which I'm excited about chatting up with you on this particular interview. Is there anything that you don't do from an online perspective? It seems like you're doing a lot for potential clients and customers.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, I think, to really truly be an end-to-end solution. You want to be able to, at the very least, speak intelligently about where your client is and ultimately where they want to go. Once you build that relationship, Doug, this. I mean, people look to us as an advisor, counselor, kind of a fractional chief marketing officer in a lot of ways. And what we first seek to do is no harm. So if we're not the expert in the space, even though we can do websites and we can do email and marketing automation, and we can even do some branding, and there's a lot of things we do, but there's certain things we do better than anyone else. And that's where we focus. And that's the reputation piece, which we're going to talk about. But yes, we can take someone from start to finish. We can take someone from a startup enterprise or perhaps even M&A talks. So we know the business frontward and backward. But that said, when we're not the most efficient vendor for an event or for a task, we've got outstanding relationships with the leaders in the industry that can better or more efficiently do what our clients need done. And what we found, Doug, is people come to us first for counsel. They come to us for a service, but ultimately they just want to know that we have their back. And I think it's really made clear when one of our clients needs something and we introduce them to the industry leader in our space to get that done in, like I said, better and more efficiently than we can even do it ourselves. Because ultimately, our first goal is that our client gets the best counsel, the best service offerings, and the best deliverable possible, even when we're not the answer. So although we can do anything, we don't do everything great. And that's just the truth of the matter. I mean, there's certain things we do better than others, and there's certain things others do better than us. And our clients know that when we introduce them to one of our strategic alliance partners or one of the vendor relationships that we're truly proud of, they know that what they're getting from that is, first, we're going to have their back. So we're going to have a seat at the table where we can be that CMO figure to kind of captain the project and lead the opportunity. But they're going to get the actual result that they want. And I think that's more important than being the jack of all trades,
Sure.
master of none. And what we do from the review generation side, a lot of people just don't touch. And what we found is that's the area where we can be of service for those vendors that are strictly doing websites or strictly doing paid ads or strictly doing social or email marketing automation. So yes, we do everything, but review generation, leveraging the voice of the customer, that is our differentiating factor for sure.
Well, Bill, I appreciate the overview of Reputation Sensei and what you're doing. And we're going to talk about reviews and reputation marketing and reputation management. So let's start right there. What's the difference between reputation marketing and management? Now, my idea is management's more of a monitoring aspect of it, but marketing really gets into really turning those reviews into new business. So comment a little bit from your perspective on that.
It's a great point, Doug. You're absolutely right. When people hear the term reputation management, I think they go to that monitoring or that negative space. When reputation management became a thing, it was typically a result of, if someone were to Google their name, let's say you Google William Courtright, Bill Courtright, Billy Courtright, what comes back? Is it positive? Is it negative? Did something happen recently, or that created some press or something that might have been negative in nature, might have been counterproductive in whatever endeavor you had personally or professionally? And reputation management got its start because there was ways that we could suppress or flood that negative press with actually a bunch of positive press. And that's what reputation management is. So you're right. It's the physical act of monitoring the online content related to an individual or an organization. Reputation marketing is different. It's a proactive strategy. It's not reactive. Reputation management certainly is reactive. Reputation marketing is proactive. It's reaching out to your customers, clients, or patients. It's procuring those reviews. It's documenting that client experience. It actually starts with the client experience itself. I mean, you begin with the end in mind, but you start with having something to review. So you actually have conversations within an office setting to let people know that the feedback is important. And as an organization, it helps us to better serve you, the customer, the patient, or the client. And reputation marketing then not only successfully generates or procures those reviews, but it takes those reviews and the way we do it is we actually create marketing assets out of those reviews. And this leverages the voice of the customer and puts it out into the online, either in social media or your website or Google business profile page, having the voice of the customer be your sales force, so to speak. So the statement I make to current and future clients is, if the world says it's so, Doug, it must be so. So what we can't, as business owners, edify ourselves. When we're the only talking head online talking about how great we are, it's immediately met with skepticism. People want to hear from people that you're serving how great you are, not you yourself. And that's when endorsement marketing or edification marketing, or what I call proof-based marketing, comes into play. Because we live in a society now where no one's letting anyone touch you, yourself, your body, work on your home or your business, unless there's a plethora of people in the market saying how great you are. And I think that's just the way it is. That's the way it will always be. And for the individuals and organizations that are relying heavily on word of mouth to grow their business, well, that's awesome. We love people like that. We're now using technology to essentially leverage that word of mouth strategy in a way that's never been seen or performed before. So reputation marketing, again, to tie a bow on it, reputation management is reactive, kind of trying to suppress what could be negative online about an individual or an organization. Reputation marketing is a proactive strategy, concentrating on the client or patient or customer experience, then taking the voice of those positive customer experiences, leveraging those as marketing assets to really amplify in the public sector how great of a job you're doing. And that in turn attracts more perfect customers. That exponentially grows reviews. And, it's been said that your happy customers are your greatest sales force. So a happy, satisfied customer can market your business or service heck of a lot better than you can yourself. So we take that philosophy, we throw an automation engine behind it, and we really support small business owners, whether they be in healthcare or a private sector, B2B, B2C, doesn't matter. We want to actually leverage the voice of the customer or patient to attract better qualified customers and patients going forward. And it works every time, all the time. And the best part about it, Doug, is it works right away. You can start something on Monday and have a new customer on Tuesday. And in the online space, that's rare. And I come from a space where, pay-per-click, SEO, website builds, sometimes they take 4, 6, 12, 18 months to really
the
bear
engagement process is a long process. And
yeah, we live in a very now oriented society. Delayed gratification, although it has its merits. People want to feel the success right away. And what I love about reputation marketing and review generation specifically is when we tackle a business on all sides, the Google business profile, the social media, the website, working with what they have to make everything better, they see results immediately. And it's a subscription-based program. So we really do become a partner to their business. And for a lot of our customers, we are their marketing department. So they come to us with all their marketing questions, and we kind of serve as
your
a
extension of their marketing and sales support team. And what I love about it, you kept saying the voice of the customer and reviews, because let's face it, if I'm looking and evaluating a service, a product, or whatever, I'm going online, I'm looking for reviews. I don't really care what the company says on their webs. Well, unless there's a testimonials, I'm gonna get into that, but the voice of the customer, but you've got to earn that right. In fact, I kind of want to walk through something that from a webinar that you and Chris did earlier this year about the blueprint for getting reviews and everything. Just real quick, I'm going to hit the cycle management or cycle marketing better yet. Customers, one, they got to earn that right. They got to have a positive experience. Without a positive experience, you're not getting a review. The customer receives a review question. Well, you got to ask for it, right? And then the customer publishes review. And this is where the secret sauce comes into play. This is what I love, what you're putting down. Reviews are collected and managed. Well, we go deeper than that. You got to transfer that into marketing assets, right? Then you got to take those assets and put them online again so people can see the reviews, whether it's B2C on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever it plays well. And then, well, the new customer is acquired and it repeats itself, rinse and repeat. Yeah. That's all well and good, but you got to earn that right, the voice of the customer, and it starts with customer experience. So let's talk about some of the benefits of reputation marketing and maybe stepping up our game when it comes to customer experience. Allude to that a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, Doug. Well articulated, well said. And if I could just plus that by saying, I'll give you a little bit of a story, kind of how we got to this place. So just in line with your question about what's the difference between reputation management and reputation marketing, when we got into this space originally, a lot of the interest we received were from organizations, and I'm not going to be specific with names or anything, but these were offices and organizations, storefronts that were not doing things all too well. And when Yelp came about and Google reviews and Facebook reviews came out, people started seeing publicly right away kind of the error of their ways. They're now the voice of their customer is saying, you're not doing a very good job. They had a low 2.5 or less Google score. Their Facebook ratings were low. They had more unlikes than likes. People were going online to talk poorly about the experience. So they were contacting us saying, can you help us? And of course we did. But what we found was the individuals and organizations that were trying to cover up a poor experience don't grow. They're constantly getting in their own way. And although we could be effective in a short term at suppressing some of those negative reviews and actually working with them to identify areas in which they could improve, they were ultimately a flawed organization. And we saw right away, these organizations just don't last very long. And we kind of flipped our focus. We started concentrating more on positive, proactive. What I say to people is, listen, we want to work with the businesses who absolutely love their staff and couldn't love their customers anymore. Because the companies that are truly pouring love into their staff and their team members and their customers, these are the companies that are going to be around for generations. These are the companies that are doing it right. And these are the companies that grow. So we could align ourselves with an organization that concentrates on client experience, that concentrates on customer or patient experience, that's doing a good job. And for those people, we could amplify their results by being the megaphone or the amplifier to the public of how great a job they do. And they really responded well, because not only did they have systems in place, and not only did they have a really strong relationship with their staff, their team, and their customers, but they were destined for growth. So as these reviews created new customers, they could support that volume, and they would grow locations after locations. And the relationship they had with us was purely profitable for us, because we were aligned with an organization that started with 1 or 2 locations and now has 8 to 10. So to make a long story longer, when we aligned with the companies that were already focused on client experience and patient experience, that were doing a good job, and then we kind of poured gas on that fire or supercharged those results, they were able to support that additional volume of business, and their customers and patients continued to rave about them. So our system was edified and validated with that.
I love, you're on a roll, but I love that point. You're aligning yourselves to people that actually get customer experience satisfaction. That takes because if you don't have that, it's the whole process, the cycle is not going to work. So they get it, and that's perfect. And then maybe if you're working with a client, you may say, hey, you got to internalize what you're doing before you even earn that right from the voice of the customer.
I can sum it up this way. Organizations, Doug, do not rise to the level of their goals. They fall to the level of their systems. And what that means is, if you're not cognizant in operationalizing positive client, customer, or patient experience, well, guess who will? Your competitors.
Exactly.
Because if you're not delivering a quality experience, they're not coming back. And people will go where they're treated fairly and where they're respected. And there's no advantage to being a low price leader. Whether we're talking about the difference between Target and Walmart, Target and Walmart are both incredible brands. They're both going to be around forever, right? Probably. Well, where would you rather do business? I think most people would say, I'd rather do business at Target. I go to Walmart because it's cheaper, but I'd rather do business with Target. And it's kind of that Target versus Walmart idea of, are we going to focus on the customer and the customer experience? And is that going to be our brand calling for the future? If so, Reputation Sensei is going to take us there faster and better and more profitably than anyone else can. But if we're going to be a Walmart and we're just going to lead with low price, and we're going to have a poorly trained staff that really doesn't give a rip about the customer too much, you're here for the cheap prices, you'll find it when you find it. Target takes you right to where you're asking. Hey, where can I get, athletic shoes? Oh, right this way, sir. And they'll walk me right there. I can't even get anybody's attention at Walmart. So the idea that if you're not cognizant of your customer client experience, someone else will be, and it'll be your competitor, and you'll be seeing taillights and not headlights. So you're absolutely right. It is essential. And you know what, Doug, for the people that don't care about customer experience, they're not going to start caring because I told them to.
Right. And and I love the concept of what Target with the customer experience, as opposed to going for price and value, or going to a Chick-fil-A, My Pleasure, or whatever the case is. You have that experience. Speaking of Target, speaking of red and black, I'm going to bring out virtual Vonda for a quick ad spot, and we'll continue the conversation. Here's Vonda.
Thanks, Doug. We are living in a virtual business world. Virtual selling and video marketing are on the rise. Communicating socially online is fine, but there might be an opportunity to collaborate further by building on your social proof visually. In layman's terms, creating visual story selling content. Thanks again for connecting and social watching.
Vonda there, she's talking about social proof, which we're going to get into. Vetting your clients or your business partners, the ones that actually get customer satisfaction, because if you're just chasing people that don't get it, the process is broken. Or there's a tremendous learning curve. And at the end of the day, we're trying to get customers, and you're trying to get them efficiently and fast. And one thing I've read through your webinars and on site is it's about turning those reviews into new customers quickly.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, again, it's a very intentional process of first focusing on client and patient experience, having that be the impetus to earn the reviews. I love when you said you got to earn the right. You do. People are going to leave positive reviews when they have a positive experience. And when you begin with this idea that it's going to be the voice of my customer that's going to attract me more customers. So I've got to focus on being different, better, stronger, faster, more efficient, better value than any one of my competitors. Once I've done that, now I want the world to go out there and be my sales force. I don't want anybody in here to keep it a secret. So we're going to actually have conversations with our customers and patients, let them know, hey, you're going to, upon leaving today, you're going to be texted, you're going to be emailed. We're going to request that you give us some feedback. Listen, please, if you'd be so kind to just share with us a little bit about your experience today. That feedback is super important. It allows us to better serve you. It allows us to understand what you appreciate, what you don't. And as long as we keep this conversation two ways, we're going to be the best version of ourselves, which is going to keep you completely and totally satisfied, and your friends and family completely and totally satisfied as well. So please, if you could just take a moment to give us some honest feedback, give us a review. We actually train people, don't call it a review at all. We really appreciate your feedback. It's what allows us to better serve you, put the benefit on them. And that starts with a conversation. We set up organizations with signage and acrylic displays and QR codes on the back of business cards, and we let people know, hey, you're going to be contacted. Please, if you had a great experience today, just take a few minutes to give us your feedback. And then once we've received that feedback, companies that are getting feedback from their clients and patients are companies that are growing because they care. They use that feedback to be the best version of themselves. They take those positive reviews, they put it out into the marketplace. And as I said, if the world says it's so, it must be so. We're leveraging the voice of the customer to attract more customers. If I'm immersed online with everybody talking great about Chick-fil-A or Target or in layman's terms, what I'm going to think is that it's a great organization, it's a great show, it's a great store, and that's what's going to drive me and what keeps it top of mind for me. When I need that product or service, I'm willing to give it a try because it's been endorsed. And the power of endorsement, I mean, listen, we are 80% more likely to make a selection once we've seen a positive experience displayed online, even if it's from a complete stranger. Like, we do not need that review to come from family or friends. It doesn't matter. A complete stranger could say that they had a great experience at this bed and breakfast over the weekend. I may never know that person, but if I'm looking for a bed and breakfast in Asheville, I'm going to take that stranger's recommendation over no recommendation. So you don't have, we're all humans here. So it's so powerful. And for the people that are doing it, they're crushing their competitors. And we've got, case study after case study after case study. If you're not taking care of your customer, I promise you who will. It'll be your competitors, and it'll be faster than you want to realize. And that's really the kind of the foundation, the scaffolding that supports all the efforts we do. Because when your organization's marketing efforts are built upon a positive client or patient experience, it's just getting the word out after that. And that's easy. Like, we as marketers do a great job of sharing a company's passion for the work they do with the people that need to know about it. But you got to be doing great work. No one wants to be the marketing company that's promoting a less than desirable experience. We just don't want to be associated with those people. We want to be leveraging those stories from those awesome experiences because that's what benefits everyone.
And it takes experience like what Chris and you have to understand to validate who would be a worthy person or company or organization to work with. Because
Yeah.
when I think of reviews online, I mean, you talk about Yelp or something. I'm a visual guy. I'm all about visual social proof and leveraging video. Okay. And if I just see a text review, one or two sentences, I don't know if that's a ghostwriter. I question, and I'm going hard on text. I question if that's legitimate, you know, and
I
I'm
think
curious of your thoughts on that. Just
no,
switch it to visual social proof. I've got to see it. Seeing is believing, give me the voice of the customer. Let me see the voice of the customer.
you couldn't be more right. It's the term proof-based marketing is kind of how we describe this type of marketing we're in. Proof-based marketing, social proof, testimonials, endorsements, influencers. Um, it's known as proof-based marketing, and you are absolutely right. We are we're a very skeptical society, and there's a lot of noise online. So there is something to be said about actual client testimonials. And you're right. Text is one thing, but if you can get a video review, or if you can hear, I mean, even just think about when you're driving in your car and you hear that voice of the customer inside of an ad spot. It's
Mhm.
just more impactful when it's a genuine patient or client that's giving you that feedback, and it just lands better. It just does. And you're absolutely right. There's nothing. Listen, at the very least, let's concentrate on client or patient experience. Let's get the feedback from every person that walks through our doors. Let's take that feedback as a way to get better. And the positive experiences, let's make sure that those are visible, as trust triggers for our future clients and customers and patients. But if there's area for improvement, let's improve, because we're not always going to get video testimonials, and it's hard to get people to record themselves. And for the most part, what we're doing right here, Doug, actually speaking in front of a camera and talking freely, 9 out of 10 people are definitely afraid of this. They don't want to be seen communicating in any way, shape, or form. So it's rare that you can get people to submit their name, image, and likeness to a testimonial. But when you can, it is, to your point, the best. There's no better trust trigger. There's no better proof than the actual physical voice of the customer. And in your business, in layman's terms, we're talking about video marketing. Listen, you are timely. And you are valuable, and you are needed, because we do live in a skeptical society, and we live in a time where, yes, the world has to say it so, but we have to have trust and integrity upon that review. And there's nothing more valuable than the actual video of the words leaving their mouths. So you're right. That's the creme de la creme. And truth be told, Chris and I have been talking about an app in development that would help organizations actually get that voice of the customer in video from them at the moment that it happens. So it's something we're cognizant of too.
No, and I get it. And but what I've learned today from our conversation is that, whether it's video, text, or whatever, earn the right, but you've got to work with your clients to make sure and you guys have a definite process in play. I'm not going to go back and read the cycle again, but earn that right, have those marketing assets, get those reviews, have a strategy in place to market those reviews online. Because if you got the assets and you're not marketing, then what's the point? So,
Right.
and you guys are creme de la creme on that. You do a great job. Speaking of visuals, virtual social proof, I'm going to bring out Vonda again. I think she's got a question for you, so we're going to bring her out, and then we'll wrap this up.
Thanks, Doug. Bondavi is here. Are there any special projects that you're working on? Give us some breaking news or updates that you can share with us. And now, back to you, Doug. Bondavi is out.
You heard the lady.
I did. Vonda, thank you so much. Yeah, we do have some, I don't know if you call it breaking news, but it's certainly fractured. Listen, we launched our own podcast this year. We are engaging on a national tour starting this week. Actually, I'll be in Chicago Wednesday through Friday this week, speaking at the Small Business Expo of Chicago. We were at the Great American Franchise Expo this weekend. We'll be in New York in June. Chris and I try to be where our customers are, and there is nothing better and more gratifying than being able to offer our service to an individual or an organization that's looking to grow. And the customers that the relationships that we have with the customers that are coachable and ambitious and smart, and they do everything right. They're the best clients, and not only are they great clients to work with, but they're growing. So we try to go find people who are watching podcasts like this, who are listening to audiobooks, who are attending conferences, who are parts of masterminds. If you want to be around smart people that are growing, and if you're in the business of growing businesses, well, you need to be where they are. And I too benefit from endorsement. I'm benefiting from Doug's endorsement of me. I wouldn't be here. Doug would not have me on this show, as a blithering idiot. He has me here because I've got a unique perspective and I know something about something that makes his audience, a little bit better, hopefully. So I do that all over the country. And whether it's the Small Business Expo, whether it's South by Southwest, whether it's, CEO Space or Success Resources, any of these places where I can actually, get in front of the people that need this information. We are 100% open source. We give away everything that we do. The strategy, you can do everything we're doing by yourself. A lot of our clients, have more time than money. And some of our clients have more money than time. And for those people, they want us to do everything. But there's a lot of people out there that are, maybe 1, 2, 3 years in business, and they've got a little more time than money, and they're willing to do the work themselves. And for those people, we give away our secret sauce. We teach them how to do what we do. But ultimately, the breaking news for Vonda is find us on YouTube, find us on iTunes and Google Play. We have an awesome podcast, the Sensei Playbook. We just launched it this year. We're going to be publishing weekly content starting in July. When we get back from New York, we're going on a little bit of a speaking tour over the next 4 weeks, and I love sharing with business owners on the rise. And that's the breaking news we have. So it's a lot of fun, and we love growing businesses. That's what we do well.
Oh, I love it because you're a man on the move. You guys are doing a lot of big things. Just one more question. I'm gonna get one more in because
Cool.
Vonda had her spin now. You talk breaking news. You're well traveled. You're getting in front of the customer. You're speaking in front of the customer. Let's talk about Sensei, the Kaizen thing. You always thirst for knowledge or level up on this. Let's talk a little bit about, I'm gonna put the logo up, but I got to ask about the Sensei here and what's the backstory of that?
Well, first things first, you mentioned a couple things. The Sensei, which, literally the term Sensei means teacher. So I think at our core, whether it's Chris, myself, all of our department heads, the leadership within this company, we believe in giving back. We believe in teaching first. I think the path to mastery was described as learn, do, then teach. And anybody who's ever gone through any learning process, until you have to teach it to another person, you never truly master it. So learn, do, teach. That's where it comes from. We do have an affinity for Japanese and Asian business and culture around here. The term Kaizen that Doug mentioned, it literally means constant and never-ending improvement. There's actually a famous luxury brand that uses Kaizen in their marketing, and it's Lexus, the relentless pursuit of perfection. So that's the same concept. So
Gotcha.
we're constant, never-ending improvement. The Sensei is a teacher first, and reputation Sensei is that master. It's that person that takes one thing, does it better than anyone else, gives that one element its full and unwavering devotion and attention, so that every one of our customers that needs quality review generation, that wants to leverage those reviews as marketing assets to attract new and better customers, and then take that foundation of awesome client experience and leveraging the voice of the customer in a proof-based society that we live in, they're going to be able to benefit from the other products and services that we offer here through the parent company, Digital Media Nation. But that's our philosophy. It is you know what I'm telling you, it's any company that's not focused on that experience first and then review and feedback next. I'm telling you, they're not going to be around long. And it's every day we see one more fall by the wayside because they think they can do it differently.
It's a continuing, just to sum it up in layman's terms, it's a continuing learning process. Voice of the customer. You have to be in tune with your customer to get those reviews, to get new opportunities, to get new business. But if you're not out there leveraging your marketing assets, but it starts with an ultimate customer experience. And then you got to ask for the review, and you got to be like a team that Chris and Bill have. Go out there and learn and continue to learn, and don't talk about it, be about it, get those reviews, and just grow your business. Hey, Bill, I want to thank you for coming on Layman's Terms, and I look forward to potentially connecting and collaborating a little bit deeper in the future.
Most certainly. Doug, it's been an absolute blast. Thanks for having me. And you got to have Chris on next.
Will do. I'm Doug, breaking it down in layman's terms, keeping it social, leveraging video, but your reputation matters. Go out there, do good work, serve well, and build your own business revenue.